Hi folks, and welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Corine.
And where are we this week, Corine?
Today we have decided to be somewhere warmer, a little warmer anyway. We've had a lot of snow this year, so we escaped down to the Sonoran Desert, and we are at Oregon Pipe National Monument.
No, Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument. That's a lot to get out in one statement.
Yes.
And the Oregon Pipe Cactus is right behind us here. These beauties are down here in the Sonoran Desert. We're really right on the border between the United States and Mexico in Arizona. So our plan is to do some daytime photography. We've got some beautiful white puffy clouds in the sky today. So we're going to take some photographs of these beautiful cactus in the daytime. And then hopefully we're going to do a little bit more photography as sunsets, some golden hour shots. The weather has been very finicky, so we need to take advantage of the good time while we're out here. So we'll start with some nice puffy cloud shots, and then we'll go from there. What do you think, Corine?
Sounds like a plan.
We really lucked out during our little visit out to the desert and got some really wonderful photographs of the cactus against the big blue skies and white puffy clouds. Here is a selection from that shoot. We've come across this beautiful arch that's being occasionally lit as the clouds sort of blow by, and it kind of raised an interesting question. So what do you do compositionally when you're taking a shot like this? You want to include the arch, but do you want to do a close-up of the arch? Do you want the arch with some clouds? Or do you want to actually back up a little bit and include maybe a saguaro or other cactus in with that photograph? And that all depends on what the conditions are like. So Corine and I have been playing with this for a little while here. First of all, we took some shots with the saguaro and the road, using the road as a leading line going up to towards the arch. And then what we did is we basically crawled over the side and took some shots that just had either cactus or creosote in the picture. And then we did a few close-ups, including some clouds up above. Because the clouds are so pretty today, it's really worth including them. They're big, white, puffy clouds with nice blue skies around them. So we use that as a interesting background to frame the shots. Much to our surprise, we came across a small field of poppies and other flowers. And of course, we couldn't help but take advantage of that and take a few of those shots as well.
Well, it's about an hour before sunset. We have some hills to the west of us, so we probably will get a sunset early. And so we thought we'd make use of the golden hour, try and get some pictures with the well-lit cactus. Up behind me here, there's an organ pipe cactus that I've used for my composition. And I like this one. It's got a nice blue sky behind it, and there's a few clouds in the sky up there to add some additional visual interest. There's not a lot of clutter around the bottom, so that makes it easy to get a good composition of that cactus without a lot of clutter in the way. One thing I learned today while doing our research is that the saguaro cactus grow up inside the shelter of other plants like mesquite plant or creosote plant, and so that's why we often see so much plant life around the base of the saguaro. In contrast, the organ pipe cactus do not grow up with a plant to give it shade or as a nursery, so it is much more clear at the bottom. Just slightly upslope from where I'm standing is the organ pipe cactus that I'm working on. It doesn't have too many arms reaching up, so it doesn't get too busy or complicated. It's standing pretty straight, not a lot of curling or twisting, and it's pretty green, so there's not a lot of dead material around. Just a few scatterings of clouds up there. They're blowing through pretty quickly, and there's a lot of blue sky tonight, so we'll only get a little bit of cloud here and there scattered in our pictures. My setup for this picture is pretty straightforward. I've got the camera set to aperture priority. It's on f11, and I'm using a fairly low ISO, 400, and I've got my white balance in about the 5400 level. So nothing too complicated here, and just waiting for a few clouds to show up to help enhance that picture. Also, I've set my camera up in portrait orientation so that it's pretty much a single cactus in this shot with a few of the organ pipe cactus back in the background.
So I'm working on a composition up the hill here, and the composition has 3 saguaro cactus in it to sort of anchor the composition. And then I'm moving the camera around a little bit to have the organ pipe cactus fill in the middle with the creosote. And I think those are mesquite trees up there as well. So they might be a combination of discrete and something else. Anyway, I'm using that and then really waiting for the clouds to come through and shooting the shot as the clouds fill up the top of the sky. Here is a picture of the back of the camera. I'm also shooting obviously in a portrait mode because I have lots of tall things going up in the camera, and I really don't want to make the landscape stuff. I can't make the landscape work. And part of that problem is this water tank over here. I don't want that in the photograph, so I'm having to shoot around it quite a bit. So here's another composition that I'm working on. Very much the same thing. I've got the small cactus down in this little area here, and then I've got the organ pipe cactus up right in there. And then as the clouds go by, I use the clouds to sort of fill in the shot. Now I am focusing actually down here on the barrel cactus with the kind of cool flowering yellow top, because I like that, and I think it anchors the front of the shot. The weakness of this shot is where my head is. Just above that is kind of empty. So the shot sort of misses something from that little corner, but there's nothing for it. There's not much I can do about that, and include the barrel cactus in the shot. And here's the back of the camera showing the image. Now this one has a really dense set of clouds. I've also taken some images with more puffy white clouds that had some blue sky between the top of the land and the clouds. So I think I like that better, although the white clouds up there with the blue on the top really accent the top of the photograph. So I don't know. I'll have to make my mind up later on as to what I like better. Well, we're just coming into sunset, and as usual, most of our clouds have disappeared. We have a few left that are kind of giving a little bit of color to the sky, or a little interesting color to the sky. But the best clouds are over that way, but we don't really have a composition for over that way. So, as usual, it makes it a little more difficult to get the shot that you're after. You see Corine and I are tight right in here trying to shoot the same sort of compositions, trying to center that big cloud up in the background there. And when you look at it on the back of the camera, it sort of looks like that. So that's what we're trying to accomplish right at the moment. It's a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Well, Corine, what did you think of our photography tonight?
It was interesting working with the organ pipe cactus. It was a nice change. We did some saguaro last year, so this was a little more interesting because you didn't have a lot of clutter around the bottom of them.
Yes, I thought that was actually quite nice. Although I found that I had to do a fair bit of walking around them to sort of get the best kind of grouping of them without too many overlapping each other. So it was also a little bit more of a challenge. It took me a while to sort of figure that out, and did lots of dancing around the cactus when I could to sort of figure it out. And in fact, it was great that we started earlier today with the white puffy clouds, because we really didn't get the hoped for cloud conditions tonight. So it was nice to get lots of white puffy cloud shots earlier today.
Yeah, the clouds really dissipated tonight. They were few along the south horizon, but they didn't color up. I saw a couple in the east that were just slightly pink tinged. I don't know if they'll show up in the picture.
Yeah, we had a few of those shots, and Corine and I kind of ran around like mad fools at the top trying to get the clouds moving in. It turns out it's very windy tonight, and the clouds were moving by really fast. So you really couldn't waste much time setting up your composition. You kind of had to have it, and you waited for the clouds to come in and then snap the photo. So anyway, all in all, pretty good night.
Yeah.
And it was enjoyable. It's always fun shooting something that you haven't done before. So anyway, well, we're going to wrap this video up tonight, and we sure hope you enjoy it. And if you did, please give us a thumbs up.
And if you'd like to see more of our videos, we would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. And we really thank everyone who has subscribed so far. That encourages us to get out and do some more photography.
And as always, if you have a comment, an idea, or a thought, please don't hesitate to leave us a comment and or a thought or an idea or anything in particular that you'd like to say. We love reading them, and we reply to all the ones that get sent.
And stay tuned, because we got lots of new exciting places to go this year, and we'll hope to share that with you very soon.
And until next time, bye for now.
Bye for now.